been trying to make. Oh,
So you're looking to compile a TFS server on 10.98. Let's go ahead and open up a new browser and go in for TFS GitHub. Go into this link here, the forgotten server. Let's go ahead and take the latest stable build. Let's go ahead and download the source code. Gonna save it. Let's go back a step. And let's go into their wiki page, which is called compiling. Let's go for Ubuntu. And let's go ahead and copy these commands, paste them in. Yes. By the way, I set up a whole new system for this, so you can follow along with my old tutorial if you go into YouTube. You can follow this tutorial, and then you just skip all the compiling part for the server. Pretty simple. Now that we have this, have installed this, let's go ahead and install this right here because we're using 20.04. Let's go ahead and skip cloning it and instead download it, which I just think we did. Let's open that up. Let's go ahead and open up our server with WinSCP. Let's go into home and our user. Let's go ahead and put it down in here. Let's go ahead and rename it just simple A. Let's go ahead and do cd, and then we get into our user directory, or you can do cd home and your user, which for me is A, and you come to the same one. Sudo unzip a.zip. Refresh that, rename it to TFS, delete the zipped folder, enter the folder. In here we have a config.lua.dist. Go ahead and copy it, and go ahead and do config.lua. Inside this folder, we'll go ahead and open it up in Notepad++. We'll go ahead and change our IP address to your IPv4. For me, it's this. Let's go ahead and go down to the database details. Add a password type equal SHA-1. Let's go ahead and change our user -A. My password is this, and the database is going to be called TFS. So now we set up the connection details for the 10.98, and I have done the same thing in config.php. Now we can go ahead and enter php-my-admin. Go ahead and write in your details. In here, go to database, create a database, call it TFS. Go ahead and press an import. Go ahead and take the schema.sql file, put it on your desktop, choose file, desktop, schema.sql, hit go, press it, import, go into Znote. Let's go into engine database and take this Znote schema.sql out on your desktop. Do the same, import, choose file. Znote Acc Schema SQL, press go. Now we've imported everything that's needed for the database and everything. Now let's go ahead and compile the server. So enter the directory of TFS, which is located here. We're gonna write sudo make dir build and cd build. But before that, I'm going to have to find a command, so I'll skip this part until I find it. And you're going to have to install all the old lib files because you will run into an error. Let me show you the case how this will look like. Let's go ahead and do sudo cmake. And here we get an error saying that it's looking for a file it's called boost-174, and that they can't find a configuration for a boost file system. And for this, we're going to have to install all dev libboost files for 1.74. So I'll be right back. All right, I found it. So you can search it up by searching for this Ubuntu 20.04 cmake error. I will link this down below in the comment section, not comment section, description. And in here, you can scroll down to iTutorial's comment, which says sudo apt-get install libboost-all-dev. So let's go ahead and install it in order. So let's go ahead and do an update all the remaining packages if you have any. Let's go ahead and just simply copy paste this one in. Sudo apt-get install libboost-all-dev. Yes, this is going to take a little bit, and after this we'll be able to simply just go through with the cmake installation and make the file. So let's go ahead and do sudo cmake ... You can see that we are generating done now and configuration is done. Now we can go ahead and simply do sudo make, and we are compiling our 10.98 version of Ubuntu 22.04. Now, after this, you might want a custom client for your otserver. Since we are doing 10.98, let's go ahead and do tibia 1098 client download. Let's go ahead and go into, let's go to otslist.org. This is a usual pretty trusted website. Let's go for tibia 10.98. Let's go ahead and download through Mega. Now, you can also go ahead and search in for HxD Editor download. HxD Editor download, and go in for this one, HxD, and you can go ahead and download this by pressing the download page over here. You can go ahead and select whichever server you want and download per HTTPS, and then you can go ahead and open it up, and it will look like this. Now, don't be confused. I'll walk you through it. It's a very complex program, so don't expect the whole tutorial of that one. Let's go ahead and close this down. Let's go ahead and install the Tibia 98 client here. Let's name it 1098. Have it on our desktop folder. Let's go ahead and Control N, open a new one, open the 10.98 RAR. Let's go ahead and start the file. And just so you know, and sorry for the mic, just so you know, usually you don't run it through a zipped or a RAR folder. It's an exe file alone, so we can do this. It doesn't require any other program. It's usually not possible to do this, but with a single program application that can run on its own, you're able to do this. Let's go ahead and browse the location. Let's go ahead and go through Windows. Let me think. Let's go ahead and go through users. Let's go through your user. Let's go into desktop. And let's go ahead and go 10.98. Or you can simply enter this folder here and just copy the path of this and paste it in here. As you can see, it's going to be a link there. And now you can just press next. The folder already exists. Would you like to install in that folder anyways? Yes, I would like to do that. I don't want the desktop icon. And now you can see that our Tibia client is located in there. Perfect. Now we have our Tibia client. You can use a Tibia, like an IP changer in for this. It's the most simple way you can approach with your server while you're compiling in order to get in. But in order to not be boring, let's go ahead and do some hex editing. And obviously, I cannot memorize these kind of things, and I will never even want to try to memorize this kind of stuff. Let's go ahead and make a copy of the exe file in case we mess up. Always make backups. And let's also edit the backup file. So let's go ahead and enter 10.98 folder. Let's go ahead and enter the copy file. And it's going to look like this. It is very, very confusing, and I'm not even gonna bother explaining. I will just showcase how you do the custom client by the guide already existing on otland. Now go ahead and search for otland custom client. Let's see if we can find it here. Custom client 8.6 till 10 clients. And it's also posted by Gesir. So thanks a lot, Gesir, for this tutorial. You have helped too many people to bother to count. So we'll tell you that you need a Notepad++. You'll also need a domain name. We should be able to do this without the need of a domain name. So bear with me on this one. You will also need to find either of these strings, which we will have to close this program down quickly. You can simply just reload it. But let's go ahead and edit with Notepad++. It's going to look like this. This is a language the computer understands, so don't be even bothered by trying to understand yourself, because you're never going to be able to do that. Let's go ahead and find this string, which is the first string. You can see that we found it. Now press on replace. Let's go ahead and take this one, replace with this one. So this is a key which is basically like the connection into an otserver. This is a real Tibia key. I can't remember what it's called. It's like an yeah, I'm not even gonna bother to do it, but it's an encryption key. So go ahead and press replace. I'm gonna save this file. Now you don't really want to be having to do this over and over again, so let's just make a copy of the copy file and let's edit this one. I'm just gonna open up the hex editor. Let's go into open file and let's go into the copy and copy file instead. Now in here you are going to have to search by Control F. You are going to have to search for this string called login01.tibia.com, and you may not find it, but we do, so that is perfect. Now you can see that we have all of these things here starting from 101, 02, 03, 04, 05. You can't do this through Notepad++ if you want to do it by 2 domains, but if you don't want to do it by 2 domains, you do it in hex editor, because it's the only way of not having to use 2 domains, basically, because you can't change a single character in the file, because the whole file is going to be rendered unusable. Let's go ahead and do a demo of what the hell I'm talking about. So let's go ahead and enter the hex editor. Keep an eye on this file over here. Let's go ahead and simply remove one here. It's going to say like this option changes the file size. We want to proceed. Let's still okay and save it. You can see that the file is no longer usable. Why the hell is that? Well, it's not open source. That's why we have to hex it. So let's go ahead and remove this copy. Let's go ahead and make another copy of it because we messed up. Let's go ahead and enter the hex editor again. And obviously there are very different methods of doing this. So login 01tibia.com. Now you need to use something called insert mode on your keyboard. It's an INS over the delete button on your keyboard. And if you press it, you are now going to be able to write inside it without it coming up and prompting that, are you sure you want to save the file? If you've done that, you haven't pressed the insert button. It's below the print screen, above the delete button, and left of the home button, and right of your erase button. So press it. It's called INS. And now you can see that I can write inside the program without having to manually do one letter by one. So now take your IPv4 address, which is mine, is 116.202.21.134. Let's go ahead and take the first one here and do 116.2102.21.134. And now you can see COM is still there. You can see this here, COM, is a 63, 64, and D6 do a 00, 00, and 00. And that will remove the COM. And this should allow us to use a simple domain or something a little bit less complex than using two domain names to connect to one server. Let's go ahead and do 116.202.21.134. And you see COM again. Let's go ahead and do 00, 00, 00, 00 on the side here. Now do the other login here, 116.202.21.134. You can see COM again. Let's go ahead and do 00, 00, 00, 00 on the left side again. Go ahead and do login for 116.202.21.134.com. Do 00, 00, 00, 00. Do tibia 01zipsoft.com. Do 116.202.21.134, and that is still my IPv4 address, not yours. Use yours. Now you're going to have to do a little bit longer. Let's do, starting at the T, let's do 00, 00, 00, 00, 00, 00. And now we have a dot here, so you don't have to edit this one. It's already default 00. Go ahead and change the other one, 116.202.21.134. Let's go ahead and do the same here. Let's go ahead and do 00, 00, 00, 00, 00, 00. Let's go ahead and do that 03, 116.202.21.134. And let's go ahead and do the same here. It's located right there. 00, 00, 00, 00, 00, and 00. Let's go ahead and do it here too. 116.202.21.134. Let's go ahead and remove these ones. They are located right there. 00. Let's do double zeros again. And there we go. We have now done all of those domain names and save it. And you can see that it's rendered as an acceptable file. So now you can open it up and you can try ahead. Oh, well, we haven't started the server yet, of course. Let's go ahead and cd out of the build folder. Let's go ahead and enter the WinSCP folder. Let's go ahead and refresh. You can see the build folder. You can see the TFS file. Go ahead and copy it and go ahead and paste it. And if you have any permissions issues, I'm explaining that in the other video, which you can obviously go through here because you will need a server setup. So you can go ahead and set this up here first. Now we can go ahead and start the server, which should work fine. Let's go ahead and screen it. And let's go ahead and do ./TFS. And everything seems to be working fine, and my ports are open on the machine and everything, so we are ready to go. Now we should be able to press enter, and you can see invalid account name. Now we have updated the key. I can't remember. I'm not gonna bother looking up what it means. I completely forgot what it means, but it's a key you have to change in order to match the OOT servers, which is basically hard-coded into the server here itself. So if you don't use the key for the client, you can't reach the server on the IP address that we just changed. And as you can see, we are only using one IP right here, which is an IPv4, not a domain. You can do this with a domain as well. So if you follow along this one and only edit with Notepad++, you need to have one domain that matches 17 letters and one that matches 19 letters. Because if you do this by Notepad++, you can't change a single letter because it's gonna render the file unusable. And that's because ZipSoft client is not open source, and reverse engineering this shit is hard. And obviously, it's a big no-no. Unless you know what you're doing. And once again, thank you Gesir for this tutorial. It's extremely useful for many years now, and every Tibia lover uses it for different reasons. So this is how you can do it with a single domain or IPv4. So you can go ahead and press this down now, and you can go ahead and create your account on your server. And I'm only using the default Znote layout. You can go ahead and disable this by memory by to false in the config, which I recommend you do, because I'm having issues with this working on my own project. Or you can simply just go ahead and install the command which it says here ubuntu install. If you can't read this, it's what are you doing, man? Okay, here we go. Let's go ahead and create the account, create an account. Let's go ahead and do 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 3. Let's go ahead and do this random stuff here. Create account 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 3. Let's go ahead and awesome. Let's go ahead and check if it was created. It was. It's 1 2 3 1 2 because of my keyboard. I need a new keyboard, guys. 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 3. Okay, whew, that worked. Let's go ahead and create a character. Let's just call it the test. Let's go ahead and do ties and create character. And congrats, we see you in game. Now, the problem with this is that you are going to get an error trying to log in now, because if we do 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 3, you can go ahead and see that we can't log in. Your character could not be loaded. What is happening? Well, it's a simple solution if you enter your console. It says that test has town ID 8, which doesn't exist. Now, if you don't understand what the hell this means, is that whenever you enter map editor, you can see town IDs on your cities that you have. So if you go into player tab, sorry, you can go ahead and go into the tab called towns. You see here town ID. Or a way simpler way is just edit it and go down to the one called town ID. As you can see, it is 8. Now, the forgotten map only has one town, as I am aware of, if I remember correctly, because I haven't done this for a damn while. So if you go ahead and change it to a 1, because town ID of 1 exists, because if you don't, you can't connect to the server. Now, you don't have to restart your server for this. Just go ahead and simply try again. You can see that we came in. And we are now in town ID 1 and we are logged in. But Joriku, I can't do game master command stuff. Okay, well, let me show you how you do that. All right, it's very simple. Go ahead and do accounts, do type. Let's do a type. I think it's 5 or 6 for 10.98. Let's go to the players as well. Let's go ahead and put the ID to, I think it's 6. Oh yeah, whoop. Not the ID, group ID. 6. Let's go ahead and log in again. Go ahead and do a /A1. Now you can see that we are a game master. I'm not going to inspect myself, okay, because I am using my real IP address and it's going to leak, and I don't want to have to do those kind of edits on this video. Okay, but you can see it works. We can now go ahead and do /I 2106, which is a crystal coin in this version. Which you can see is not working. So we put the account to the wrong ID. Well, type. It's 6 on 10.98, I'm pretty sure. 2160. Yeah, there you go. Now you can see now I have a game master permissions. It works completely fine. And that is because on Canary is using 5 and the latest TFS I think uses 5 too. And 10.98 uses 6 and 9. Obviously, the 9 permission gives the type 9 gives you reload permissions and stuff like this, which you can do /reload and /shutdown server. I think it is even, or you might even have permission with the 6 one. But I'm gonna leave it at 6. There we go. So everything is connected, everything's working, and now you can go ahead and see that we have a custom client connected to our server, which is located here. And if you want to do this a little bit more simple, you can go ahead and close this down, delete these, go ahead and rename it to whatever your server is. I'm just call it server.exe, and then you can also go ahead and just remove these files here because it's no longer needed. These are only for files that are really needed for a 10.98 client, which is quite simple. So now you can open it up and you can log in again. Just enter game and press OK, and you can say invalid account, which means it can reach the server and has logged in, logged out, and no longer having an issue with the town. So this is how you simply set things up, and I will link everything down in the comments so you can go ahead and check out the tutorial I made a while ago. But if you want this video, you can find it yourself, or you just go down to the description if you're lazy. That's all good. I will go ahead and link Znote Acc down below. I will link all of these kind of things, but for 10.98 I will go ahead and link the GitHub page for TFS server. If you want that, you can also go ahead and just go into this one by going down there. You can also find HxD Editor. You can also find this one right there. I will leave these two in there so you don't have to enter the link itself, so you can just copy paste them. So all good. So this is how you set up a 10.98 server by following that tutorial. So you can set up the machine yourself, you can set up negings, you can set up the web server, which I haven't got through this time, but now you know how to set up a custom client for it. you know how to use HxD Editor a little bit, kind of. You still have to learn that by yourself. It's way too long. And then you also know how to compile on Ubuntu 22.04 in 2023, almost 2024. It will work in 2024, and if it doesn't, I will just update you guys on it. So if you guys want any other tutorial, go ahead and leave a comment below, and I will go ahead and probably make it. As you see, I haven't uploaded in a month, so don't expect anything too soon. Alright, but I hope you guys enjoy this, and I will see you guys in the next one.